Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Welcome back to day number 6 of analysis of the Lord of the Rings War in the North. Yes, I think it's day number 6 right now. Yeah, by now it's day number 6. It's a stormy afternoon here in Buenos Aires. So, yes, we'll all have the pleasure of exploring. There we go. We'll all have the pleasure of exploring, of exploring the rest of what the Lord of the Rings War in the North has to offer to all of us. Last time we did kind of like an emergency stream after I couldn't beat Dawn of the Dead over at London 2038 because of the insane health regeneration of those zombies. But don't worry, because I'm already working on that. I've already after farming 600k money, because I couldn't access the respect potion that you are awarded after you finish the main story over there. So don't worry, once I get some better gear and stats, we will do Dawn of the Dead, and then we will showcase Hellgate Tokyo. But don't worry, we have plenty of games to analyze in the meantime. So last time we fought the troll over at the Eden Moors. Remember, we fought with Eradan. I was using Eradan. The saving system of the game failed because I quit immediately after finishing that boss fight, and it didn't save, and I had to do it again. So, anyways, it wasn't a problem, and I was precisely commenting that that the game has a critical flaw which is amplified by some facts that we are going to comment. The critical flaw that I'm talking about is the fact that the usage of potions is completely unbalanced. Kind of like you can endlessly spam potions. Alright, we killed the troll over at the Enemies, and we return to Rivendell. And right now, after you do this, the game actually saves, apparently. So, yeah. There we go. We'll play with the Mage today.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Etenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the great eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
Alright, before we begin, because I'm not gonna talk in the middle of the dialogue, oh well, I'll tell you once we get to a level and we begin fighting. Yeah, it's about the balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty. Yeah, that basically the fact that you cannot select hard difficulty, that fact combined with the usage of potions in this game makes an extremely unbalanced experience, but we'll get into that in depth once we get to the fighting. We'll do a recap of what we've analyzed and we'll continue. But now, let's focus on the dialogue. So, we fought a giant indeed. The Fellowship departed.
The Fellowship has begun their journey? How long have they been gone? They have only just departed. Did you discover something in the Etenmoors that makes you fear for their safety? We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we feared, and they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He made war on the great eagles.
But with the Eagle Balrog's help, we managed to put an end to him.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We found these tokens on some of the slain.
Some of them bear the black raven emblem of Agandar.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Uh, what of the ring bearer?
Could Agendour be a threat to the ring bearer and his mission?
Perhaps, but the company of the ring is bound southward, away from the regions where we believe Agendour to be. We can hope that he has no thought for the ring. Indeed, I doubt he even knows of it.
Why he would know?
Why would Agendour not know of the ring? He's an important servant of the Dark Lord.
Do not forget, for all his power, Agendour is a mortal man. As bound as he is to the Dark Lord, he is not a slave to his will, as are the ring wraiths. Were Agendour to discover the ring, he would certainly be tempted to claim it as his own. I doubt Sauron would take such a risk.
Tell us about
What can you tell us of Mount Gundabad?
It is a great
Gundabad.
peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. You would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
We have seen the forces Agendour commands, and they are formidable. Rivendell may well be their target.
I fear you are correct. We have made plans for our defense, but truthfully, our best hope lies in eliminating the threat of Agendour.
If the orcs of Mount Gundabad are serving Agendar, perhaps we can find him there.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agendour is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Maybe not, but it's not like we have many more choices, other than to sit waiting for Agendour to strike first.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly, but you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And, too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agendour, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
But what of Frodo and his quest? Is there nothing more we can do to assist him?
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
How will you do that?
We will continue to plan for the defense of Imladris. The enemy will not find us unprepared. I will send warnings to such allies as we have. There is strength to be found in Imladris still, but in truth, you three may be our best hope.
Then we should be on our way. We travel to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.
Magnificent. So they left. They left this place, the Fellowship of the Ring. Hey, look at that! It's the legendary Zine from the Lord of the Rings. Isildur cutting Sauron's arm. Mount Gundabad. Right, we'll get there as soon as we can. I wonder if it registered the side quest that we did last time. Let me see if I can choose the option.
What can I help you with?
What are you working on now?
What task are you working at now?
My fellow smiths and I have recently completed a great work, the reforging of the legendary sword Narsil. It was a demanding and exhausting task, but I dare say we created something worthy of a king. Now that it is complete, I have turned to work of a different sort. I'm amusing myself by practicing the art of imbuing gemstones.
Oh. Narsil.
What can you tell me of this sword, Narsil? Narsil was the sword of Elendil, a mighty lord of the Dunedain who defied the Dark Lord in the War of the Lost Alliance. He bore the sword in battle against Sauron, but he was slain and the sword was broken. Since that time, the shards of the sword have been an heirloom of the House of Elendil. It was to remain broken until the day when an heir of Elendil would go to war to reclaim the crown and title of king. And now at last that day has come, and Narsil has been made whole once more. Aragorn has renamed the sword Anduril, the Flame of the West. May it serve him well.
Alright. Imbuing
What do you
gems.
mean by imbuing? Simply that certain objects have inherent virtues, and a skilled artisan can, through his craft, increase those virtues and bind them to an object for advantage. Gemstones are very strong vessels for this process. Sadly, appropriate gemstones have become difficult to find. The growing trouble throughout the land keeps travelers away, and our own people are staying closer to home.
How can I help?
Perhaps I can help you with that. I will be traveling soon. I would be pleased to have your help. I will provide you with a list of the types of gemstones that are of the greatest value to me. If you collect the stones, I am certain I could create something that you would find useful. But to be of use, the gemstones must be of the highest quality. Fortunately, we have as a guest a dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Glóin is his name, and he is skilled in the appraisal of gems of all sorts. Once you have gathered the stones, allow him to examine them. He'll know if they are suitable.
Alright. Let's repair the gear first. Just in case. I don't want to be caught off guard with the gear broken in the middle of a battle. 26. Alright. I should. Right. At least the one I'm using, and the other one. Alright, we'll see. Just in case. There we go. And the boots that I'm using. Perfect. Alright, we've got another side quest, people. Remember, we are doing a 100% completion. So that implies doing all of the side quests and exploring all of the dialogue options. So, yeah, pretty much. So once I get the elf stones, I talk to Gimli's father, to Glóin. There we can see Bilbo. Alright. That's some terrible pathfinding there. I should have been able to get on top of the platform by simply walking through that.
Back, Eradan. I saw you arrive, and I must say, it made for a fine sight. We have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle, although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
Alright, so the dialogues changed.
How was it that you came to be carried by an eagle?
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, one wizard, and one rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
For my part, I have never experienced anything to match the thrill of soaring among the clouds. I'm eager to take to the air again.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
Interesting how this game was released. I commented this last time we had the opportunity to be here and comment this. Interesting that this game was released back in 2011. That is before the release in the release of the movie of The Hobbit, right? So before the whole release of the Hobbit's trilogy, because I think it was 2014, the release of the movie. That means that the developers over at Snowblind Studios had to take the time to read the books about the Hobbit to create these dialogue lines. That implies a deep understanding of the Lord of the Rings lore through reading the books instead of simply watching the movies. Uh, by part of the developers, so that's a lot of work that
You contended with
should be
giants.
recognized.
Well, contended is not the right word. It was more like trying my best not to be accidentally trod upon. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
In this, we see the hand of Agadar. I'm certain it was he who corrupted the giant.
Hagendour again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. Seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
We stand in his way, and we intend to find this cur of Sauron and deal with him once and for all.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornos and the Etermores. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done, maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
It would be an honor to have our story recorded by so worthy a chronicler.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
It began some weeks past at the Sarn Ford. And so, with the giant dead, the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we had learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
All right.
I shall, if time and fortune allow. Now, I should be on my way. Farewell.
All right. So this is kind of like a side quest, new quest, the chronicler. Okay. Speak to Bilbo at. Hey, we have different eagles here. This is Belaran. No. Then can we talk to the other ones? Armenel.
I am grateful to you, Dunedain. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
Damn it. The Battle of the Five Armies. What? Well, here you can verify that the developers put a lot of effort into creating a perfectly cohesive set of dialogue lines in terms of the lore of the Lord of the Rings and everything. And as I've said, it's amazing that they created all of these dialogue lines before the release of The Hobbit, even more before the release of the third movie of the trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. It's precisely the Battle of the Five Armies, after the desolation of Smaug and The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. So yeah. Taking into account the dates, the game was released way before the Hobbit trilogy, so consider that when taking a look at all of these. I've already mentioned this last time.
Were you one of the eagles that took part in the Battle of Five Armies?
So I was, when the allied armies found themselves set upon by goblins who had stealthily scaled the mountain slopes. I was among those who set upon the enemy and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
Flying upon an eagle's back is a rare privilege. I wonder why it is you volunteered for this task.
It was enough for me that Belaran wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the eagles the stone giant slew was my own father.
Oh.
You avenged him, and for that act alone I would bear any of you to the farthest ends of Middle-earth. And though Bargrassar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance against the master that sent him against us. Agendar, your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down.
Look at how expressive the facial expressions precisely are. Look at how vivid they feel.
What can you tell me of your leader, Gwaihir?
I was
Gwaihir is the
surprised by
Lord
that.
of the Eagles. He can outfly the north wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of eagle lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
Alright. As I've said, we are doing a 100% completion of the game, so we are exhausting all of the dialogue.
Are you ready for a long flight to Mount Gundabad?
We are strong and rested. Balaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
It's incredible how vivid the facial expressions are. I was surprised by that because I think they are some of the most vivid I've ever seen in any game, especially from the 7th generation. Baranthal.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
What do you know of Gundabad?
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
No, I wanted.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Yeah. Do you know Bilbo?
Are you one of the eagles who helped Bilbo Baggins in his quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of 5 Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
Great eagles were not meant to carry burdens, Baranthor. I would not have you continue to carry us against your will.
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Are you kin to Balaram?
No, but he has always guided me. Balaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He showed me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Balaram leads, I will follow.
We're not quite done here. It's good of you to wait.
The sky calls. Say the word to Balaram, and we'll catch the wind.
Magnificent. We still had a side quest here. This one, the mirror board. We are lacking one Gillibor crystal, and these are new. The Chronicles speak to Bilbo once we do some other once we finish some other adventures, and then the Elf Stones. Okay. We are just lacking one Gillibor crystal for the quest that we must perform to this lady here, to Lady Arwen. We still need one more of those crystals, so we need to keep an eye out for those. The water is pretty well done. So it's the graphics of this game, but not only the graphics, but the overall presentation, the level of polish in terms of animations and everything, is definitely amazing. Definitely amazing. It not only it feels alive. For example, there you can see the leaves. Not only it's amazing for a game that was developed back in 2000 an 11, but it's extremely polished.
Gundabad awaits us.
Alright. Baron Thoran and the other eagles.
Eager to offer their services. Perhaps they do not fully appreciate the danger. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young and eager to prove himself, but he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
Perfect. We've already done that. Why did the Lord of Eagles agree to this?
I was surprised that Gwaihir gave you leave to come with us. From what I am told, he rarely intervenes in the affairs of those who walk upon the ground.
It is true, Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
Have we put you at odds with Gwaihir by helping us?
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an area that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
We ask a great deal of you to carry us into such danger. Perhaps we ask too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
Ah,
We are deeply honored to have the friendship of the Great Eagles, and especially one as noble as you, Balaram.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to beg to Gundabad.
I think. Well,
What should we expect when we reach Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
hey, interesting. A secret dialogue.
Have we any chance then to carry out this mission?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine.
Okay.
I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
Good point.
We will keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
My name's Sant. Sorry if the conversations drag on a bit more than necessary, but remember, we are doing a 100% completion of the game, and that implies exploring all of the dialogue options. Speaking of which, I think we could also talk to. We haven't talked to this guy, could we?
Is there something I can help you with, Eridan?
No, it's,
I will leave you to your...
no. It's, there are no dialogue options whatsoever. All right, let us depart after this. I think they were 23 minutes of exploring those, so let's go. Mount Gundabad. Let's go. Yep. We'll play with the Mage. Mage. We'll play with a Mage. We'll play with Andriel because it's a class that we couldn't explore during early game due to the lack of hell of mana regeneration. So yeah.
I hope we reach our destination soon, or this weather may prove more deadly than the orcs. Take heart. We are nearly there, and this snowfall will hide us from the eyes of the enemy below. Balaram, look! Above the mountain!
Oh.
Set us down! We can attempt to find a way into the mountain under cover of this storm! There is little chance of that, with those creatures keeping watch from above. Once we land you, my comrades and I will draw off the beasts.
The Nazguls enter the show. Alright. Alpine Pass. Well, now we are really in the north. Oh, damn it. I think that straight away we haven't seen any of these in the movies. God damn it, look at... Wow. Look at the... Look at the cloth. Look at the details on the clothes. Wow. Wait, we'll play with the mage. So, quit. I just pray that this will save my game. Now that I've landed here. We'll play with Andriel. Yes. Thank you. Launch game. You'll gain experience when you experiment fall in lump. Yes, we know, like in every game ever. And perfect, it recorded it. So as I was exploring, look at the details. Even wow, the snow, how it covers the gear, the clothes. It's amazing. Very well done. This effect is not easy to. It's not easy to create. That's for sure. You can even see it inside of the hood, and also the eyebrows. If you pay close attention, you can also see the snow in the eyebrows. Sorry. Amazing. The graphical presentation of this game is amazing. And if I do this, yeah, it is amazing.
We can hope their eyes are less keen than those of our eagle friends. We may appear to be just a few more orcs among the hordes of Gundabad.
It's a sad day when I have to hope I'm mistaken for an orc.
Alright, let's see, because it didn't register my previous... I already did this the other day, no, but because I was playing with Eridan. Alright. Yeah, I did it today, but anyways, doesn't matter. It doesn't register the stat changes yet. And I have 6 skill points left, of course. Chance each time skills cast that the next friend. Okay. We'll have to waste 1 point here, and we'll go for this one. Strength of Will grants a bonus of armor based on your current will. Right. Here, with this specific talent, we'll stop for a sec here, and then we'll get access to dual wielding. This is one aspect, as I've been telling you. As you can see, I don't have dual wielding unlocked, and if you pay attention to previous streams, as I've been constantly commenting, when the mage or any of the other 2 characters is AI controlled, they unlock advanced talents of the skill tree. Right? And that's the way the game balances the artificial intelligence. That's how it makes it effective. That's something that we've analyzed. The efficiency of the artificial intelligence. So, what does the game do? This is just like for example, the rubber band artificial intelligence in racing games, like we explored when I played Scoot Race, for example, as an analogy. Uh, the way the game balances the fact that the AI controlled companions uh, may not be perfect. It may not be perfect, though it has been it has been pretty decent so far. But it may not be perfect. Is to unlock, is to let them use advanced talents right away that you haven't unlocked in the skill tree when playing with said character, if you know what I mean. For example, you can see in previous streams that Andriel has been dual wielding all the time, and here you can see that the talent I don't even have I don't have it unlocked. As you can see, I haven't even unlocked it yet. So yeah, it's the way the game tries to balance the artificial intelligence uh, so it is efficient. But so far, if we combine that with the fact that the artificial intelligence is pretty efficient uh, per se by itself, because I've seen them attack uh, multiple enemies at the same time. I've seen them uh, scale the path and find an entrance to the stronghold. And I've seen them, for example, shift to ranged weapons when I was employing melee weapons, or the other way around. Uh, hey, it's a patrol. I wonder if we are meant to ambush it. Or whatever, we'll just walk there. Anyways. And yeah. Another things that we've explored are the genre classification of this game, which is a perfect hybrid between hack and slash and RPG. The accuracy of the lore of the Lord of the Rings. What happens if I do this? They all react. Alright, remember, this is a ranged class, so... Well, for example, here you can see it. Here you can see that Eradan changed to melee for a second. Let's see if it fully changes to melee, if it understands that he should be performing melee attacks. And as you can see, the artificial intelligence shifted to melee attacks. Another thing that I wanted to highlight as I finally play with Unreal, because as I've said, I've been unable to play with her because so far, it's the class that is is the less suitable class for early game to use in early game. Where's Farin? Alright, he assumed the role of tank pretty fast. There we go. How do I perform this one? I know, but it's dead. Damn it. Yep. Well, that could have healed you. Damn it. Alright. They shouldn't be able to attack us with arrows inside of the bubble. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. We're like Gandalf right now. Magnificent. As you can see, this is another feature that this game possesses, is that regardless of the character that you choose, as I've said, I think I've already commented this 2 streams ago, that regardless of what class you choose, regardless of what character you choose, I mean, the classes are mostly similar because they can all perform ranged attacks, they can all perform melee attacks, and basically the only significant difference that I found is that only Andriel can AoE heal with this bubble, but as for the rest, in the grand scheme of things, this game blurs the lines between the classic RPG roles, because both the healer, let's say the hypothetical healer, which would be Andriel, can increase her armor, for example. The ranger, which should be DPS, can increase his armor. Farin, which is the tank, can increase his damage. So, hey, I think I see something there. So, yes, the game doesn't use a traditional the game doesn't use a traditional class system. Is in terms of the genre and the role system, is, I think, one of the most hybrid, non-traditional games that I've seen. The healer can do executions and melee attacks, can dual wield. It's extremely versatile in comparison to traditional RPGs, which simply stick to the traditional to the traditional class system, to the traditional class systems, plural, that we've seen in most RPGs from the early 2000s. Think about something like Baldur's Gate, Knights of the Old Republic, as I always mention, Dragon Age Origins, for example. This one favors a hybrid class system. Not only a hybrid genre mixing hack and slash and an RPG, but it also goes for a hybrid class system. So it's a game that is difficult to classify in terms of its genre, but also in terms of its class system. I would say that straight away, if you want my personal opinion, if you want to hear my personal opinion, I think it doesn't have a class system at all, because the fact that you can do a light healing mechanic with this character, for example, with the mage, does not justify considering that it has classes. For me, this game doesn't have classes straight away, because they can all three of them can dual wield, which means all of them can be DPS.
Be us. We've only just arrived, and they're heading the other way.
But what then are they looking for?
And while, for example, only Andriel
Missiles can pierce this shield.
can heal, can AoE heal, this ability alone is not enough, as I've said, as to consider that the game has a class system, a defined class system. The class system in this game is clearly undefined, and everyone can assume the role of DPS. For example, Andriel can assume the role of DPS here. Farin can be a DPS. It's not he doesn't need to be necessarily a tank. And the same goes for Eradan. Had I equipped a shield to him, he could have been a tank instead of a DPS. The game is versatile in terms of the class system. Hey, look at that, they are moving. Pretty well done, the effect. It's just like... I love how... Exactly, have you noticed this? That exactly like... We are transitioning from... We're kind of like in the timeline at the end of Fellowship of the Ring and beginning of Two Towers. And have you noticed that this effect is exactly like in the second movie, like in Two Towers, not in Fellowship of the Ring. And precisely now that we are beginning, we would be at the end of Fellowship of the Ring / beginning of Two Towers. We see the same effect that we saw in the same second movie. So pretty well done. They are not animated. They are kind of like they used static 2D models, but it's pretty well done. It's pretty well done. See, I am surprised that a lot of games from the 7th generation have these amazing effects. Hey, that's an armored troll.
These are frightful odds.
Can I use Belloran? Let's use Belloran on that guy.
Good time to call on the eagles ahead.
Indeed, I've already done so. There we go. Damn, that's an armored troll. We've never fought one of those. No. See, for example, here the artificial intelligence is failing somehow, because while Farin is efficiently acting as a tank, Eradan is shooting arrows instead of being a melee attacker. Well, did we die? No. Nope. There we go. That one just died, in fact. As you can see, this guy should be performing melee attacks. There we can see, let's say, a flaw in terms of the artificial intelligence, because it's forcing me to perform melee attacks, because someone has to tank the troll. And Perrin is busy. So it's forcing me to perform, let's say, to perform a role that my character is simply not suited for. Well, there we can see a slight flaw of the artificial intelligence. It's not properly interpreting the flow of the battle, the force of the battle. It's forcing me, of course, to perform the executions, so I get extra experience. That's okay, but it simply has difficulties shifting to melee attacks. There you can see that it's still shooting arrows. Something that didn't happen when I played with Eradan precisely. So that means that it's a bit more difficult to play as Andriel overall because of that. Because I remember when I played as Eradan, Andriel would instantly switch to... Well, you could see it in the previous boss fight from last time. Andriel immediately shifted to ranged attacks, and firing also shifted to melee attacks. So there's kind of like a dissociation.
Just like a dwarf to spend
Damn it.
so much time on the ground.
Damn it. There's a dissociation between the reaction of the artificial intelligence
Onward now.
when you are playing as one character when you are playing as a ranger when compared to when you are playing as Enreal, as a mage. Oh yeah, there we can see a slight flow of the artificial intelligence. Oh yeah, pretty much. I would need to, I don't know, spec as a dual wielding character and spend my stat points on strength instead to compensate for that, but no, we are going to straight away play with Eradan next time, knowing this. Oh well, I wanted to once again showcase Mage gameplay. And the other one, the other Armor Troll, there we killed the first one, let's kill the other one. There we go. So you can see, this guy is still shooting arrows when he should be engaging in melee. I mean, there we go. And perfect. Oh yeah. Another things that we have explored are the overall genre classification of the game. As I've said, the efficiency of the artificial intelligence. See, this is why this class is not suited for early gameplay, for early game combat, because as I've said, the power regeneration is also unbalanced. You could see that I got a talent that basically increases my power regeneration, and still, as you can see, I'm forced to use potions. So yeah, pretty much, damn it. That was a pretty good trajectory. Was pretty well calculated. And as you can see, for some reason, the magical bolts are the magical bolts don't deal as much damage as. Damn it, what was that? That thing rammed me. Ah, but it didn't kill me. And there we go. Yeah, I think that by now we can confirm that the. What's this? I cannot loot that. Feel leveled up. As you can see, we can confirm by now that the overall gameplay of the mage is a bit flawed, at least so far. So yes. Um, Hold LT and RB to power up your ranged attack for firing multiple projectiles at once. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe it's because I am not using this. Press LB and Y to blast targets with a force of elemental energy. magical shockwave, to devastate a single target. Higher ranks add change damage to additional targets. Perhaps I need to try this one instead of dual wielding, because I don't think that that melee damage will do a lot of difference with this character, because I haven't invested a single point on strength, so yeah. Well, it's a great way to make the game a bit more difficult playing with the mage. Those guys are still down there. Pretty well done, that effect. If you pay close attention, as I've said, they are 2D models, but they are pretty well done. Let's try the other attack, shall we? How do I perform the other attack? RT and Y. Alright, okay. Damn, that sucks. Yep. That's so terrible. It's kind of like a stupid knockback. It's just a single target, though. And the other one? Word of... I mean, they are all area of effect around your character. That's so useless for this for this class, let's say. Though we've said that the game uses a hybrid system, but yeah, I think we can confirm by now that the most unpolished character is indeed the mage. So yeah. See, there you can see once again this pattern of the artificial intelligence that we simply didn't see last time. When I played as Eradan, both Andriel and Farin would behave in a different way. That's what I mean. We have a melee character using ranged attacks only due to the fact, or exclusively due to the fact, that is AI controlled. That is different when compared. Hey, we got a new scepter. Let's use it because let's see if we can equip it. Explorer's staff. Requires strength. That's the problem. No, but it's not that one. It said gold. It said no. It's not a staff. It's kind of like food. Yeah, I know. So far we've analyzed also the genre classification of the game, which is a perfect hybrid between hack and slash and RPG. We can see the stample. Hey, wasn't there another path? What do we have here? Damn it, the graphical effect on that regard, the graphical presentation is amazing. It's amazing. There you can see the snow covering their armor. But wait, because we have 2 side quests, and I'm sure we'll miss the collectibles, and we're doing a 100% completion. Wait, if that's the here, doesn't matter. Let's see. I'm sure there's a secret area over here. I want to explore every corner of the game. Hey, look at that. You haven't noticed. Pretty well done. That effect when you walk. Ah, they're already here. My bad. Let's kill them. Let's try that new ability. Let's see if it's useful. No. Not at all. Let's see. No. Yeah, definitely the mage is the... I wouldn't say the hardest class to play. It's the less polished... Yeah. It's the one with the less polished gameplay mechanics. See, for example, if Eradan would simply engage in melee, I could easily deal a bit more of ranged damage. But he doesn't. He kind of like stays back and waits for the player to act. Something that certainly didn't happen when I played as Eradan. So yes, it's a bit unbalanced in terms of what class. I mean class, as I've said. Yeah, as you can see, they both died. So yep, it's extremely unbalanced because you could see that with Eradan and Farin engaging in melee, the mage would stay back, and it simply made the flow of combat natural and engaging. But sadly, if you play as the mage, you will always encounter this problem, which is that they stay back as if they were a support. They simply assume a support role when they shouldn't. So that's another flaw of the artificial intelligence. Though I would still say that the most critical flaw that we've encountered so far is the lack of balance between the usage of potions and... There we go. Between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty curve of the game. That's a critical flaw that simply makes the gameplay flawed in comparison to most RPGs from the 7th generation. This is the same issue, as I always comment, that happened with Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. An incredible game that was initially developed as an MMORPG. But its combat system was completely ruined by the fact that you could simply spam potions endlessly and you could finish the game regardless of how terrible your skill tree may be. Regardless of that, you could finish the game by simply spamming potions, and that's simply sad. As you can see, the fact that we are forced to perform melee attacks, damn it, we missed the execution there. The fact that you are forced to perform melee attacks, even as a mage, confirms what we've been exploring and analyzing for quite some time, which is that the hybrid class system in this game forces you to engage in melee regardless of your class or character choice. But as I've said, the biggest flaw, well, there was nothing I could do there. Pretty much I couldn't dodge. And I think we are dead. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll grab Eradan. Yep. I think this is the first time we die in the whole series. So good. No, forget it. This character is flawed. Let me go. We'll try with Eradan. We'll try with Eradan. Or we can try with Farin, but no, let's go with Eradan. We were playing with Eradan. Yep, the mage is completely broken, at least in single player. Because the other two try to be ranged attackers, and they simply don't take an active role in acting as a tank. So let's act as a tank. Let's see if we can... Well, not as a tank, we are DPS. Let's see. We'll try with Valorant here. Hey, what happened there? That's so typical of the 7th generation. Look at that. The troll is kind of like in the air. Well, here we can see another thing that we've been exploring: the relationship between the level design and the overall gameplay mechanics. We have one down there. There we go. Well, that one exploded. I don't know. Yeah, I can see that the best. Yeah, that's the thing. That the combo system of this game is similar to Batman Arkham's combat system, and basically it favors melee much more than ranged attacks. And as a consequence, there we go. And as a consequence, it ends up making ranged gameplay not viable, because the combo system ends up being exclusive. There we go, perfect. Ends up being exclusive to Eradan and Farin, and well, because of that, you'll never be able to fully use the. You'll never achieve the full potential of the mage because of that, because you cannot chain combos unless you perform melee attacks. So yeah. There we go. See how many times Unreal is... Come on, this way. See how many times Unreal is knocked. Well, both of them. Alright, time to call Valoran. There we go. Perfect. Magnificent. Good. And as you can see, if we compare the amount of time it took me to kill those two last time and what it took me right now, I think we can all see the difference. And yes. The two biggest flaws that we've encountered so far are those: the balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty curve of the game, which, coupled with the fact that you cannot select hard difficulty right away, it's like in God of War. First you have to go through normal difficulty, which I think it's one of the worst mechanics. It's a plague of the 7th generation. It's a trend that I never liked. For example, it happened to Mass Effect. It happened to God of War, always. And I simply don't like that trend of not allowing the player to play on hard difficulty straight away. So yes. I would say that combined with the other fact that I highlighted before, the fact that you can continuously spam health potions, the biggest flaw of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning as well. If you combine both of those flaws, you get as a result that the difficulty curve of the game can potentially be a disaster, because Kingdoms of Amalur, for example, I vividly remember that you could finish it by simply spamming potions, and it ruined the whole difficulty of the game. There are several ways to avoid that, and we'll see if the game finds a way to... Hey, where's Farin? Ah, we left one of those behind. Okay. They're trying to kill this guy. Let's see. careful, because these enemies knock you down. I think the way they found to somehow compensate for those flaws is, as you can see, now I'm realizing, is the fact that they can knock you back. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see, alright, we need to... They are dead again! God damn it. Well, here we can see that the artificial intelligence... Yeah, it's clearly a difficulty spike, but... as long as I can avoid their attacks... Perfect. Let's see, I need to ensure that they don't... that they don't surround me. Alright. Perfect. That's one. And here are the other one. At least we can say that they perfectly calculated the... I don't know if you realize, but it takes less time for them to revive the other artificial intelligence. Yep. Yep, the perfect class for this would have been Farron, but well, let's see. Yeah, that's the problem, that I cannot chain a combo like this. There we go. It's one down. Damn it. I meant to do a light attack. No. Let's see. Nice try. You attack your own partner. There we go. And now it's dead. Well, damn it. Alright, so the attacks have a 360-degree area of effect. Okay. Or at least some of them. There we go. Good. 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 Alright. I'm glad we could see a difficulty spike today, at least. Good. So the way the developers are trying to compensate the fact that you can continuously spam potions is with knockback attacks from normal enemies. Alright. Alright, I can see. Because this is the first mob that actually poses a threat. Because I was knocked back several times until I got the timing right. So, good. They are trying to compensate. It's a strategy. It's a way of compensating it. The problem is that in Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, for example, enemies don't knock you back, and I think it's the worst case of the 7th generation. An amazing game that I love, but in Kingdoms of Amalur, I remember I finished the game on the hardest difficulty with kind of like 50 potions, and it didn't pose a threat. Godflow didn't pose a threat, the final boss or anything. So yeah, but here we can see that the way they are trying to balance it, they are trying, it's not properly balanced like in something like, I don't know, for example in Hellgate London that we played last time, that we have been playing for some months previously, before we began the analysis of this game. There's a cooldown on the usage of potions. That's a solution. As I've said, another solution could be through here. Ah, there. The Nazguls are there. Adding a cooldown to the usage of potions, letting enemies mute you, and preventing you from using potions temporarily are all options that developers have available to balance the usage of potions, just so you don't spam them. In terms of the lore accuracy, so far the game is perfect. There you can see that we are at the end in terms of the timeline. We are at the end of Fellowship of the Ring / the beginning of Two Towers, and there you can see that this is Saruman's army, basically, or Agandaur's army that is about to help Saruman's army. So yeah, in terms of the lore, I have no complaints. It's extremely accurate, but not only that, as you could see, I won't go over all of that again because we've already explored that. But the dialogue options, as you could see, um, are extremely in depth. You could see that we could explore Bilbo's ramblings, let's say, all of his chronicles, Elrond, Aragorn, everything. The dialogue choices from last time uh, were extremely in depth, and yeah, the characters do feel alive. In terms of the ambience and what I call the grandeur, the impact of that ambience and the immersion, what those two have on the player, the game is perfect. It's kind of like much more accurate than its successor, than Shadow of Mordor, by a long shot. Uh, it's much more rich in terms of lore than Shadow of Mordor, than its successor. As I've been telling you, it was developed by the same team before they were purchased by Warner Bros. Hey, I want that amber. There we go, we craft this. Like this. Killing cake. No, but we'll have to use... No, we'll drop this because I want that amber. We'll drop this. I think that's enough for now. No, not the gold pipe. Here, loot items. Perfect amber. There we go. Let me free up some space. 105. No. There we go. This one that I picked up again. Sorry. What else we have? I think we need this one for a quest, for a side quest. So no. And I should be able to sell right here without returning to Rivendell. In case you are wondering why is it that I don't sell all of these, it's just because I still have room. As you can see, you don't loot so many weapons. Hey, my let's see if we looted a better one-handed sword. This one definitely 74.94, 28.44. Damn it! It's no wonder I was getting killed so much. Damn it! I sold it. That doesn't matter. We'll see what we can buy anyways. This one will give it to. Let's see if I can buy some one-handed weapon. This is the one that I just sold, so give me that one. And we need this is one-handed, blunt, perfect. Just what I needed. Well, we'll have to manage this a bit because otherwise we will indeed get killed pretty fast. Two-handed? No, we're not using two-handed. This is purple. I will leave that one for now, just in case we need it eventually. If I don't find any good single-handed weapons, I'll have to use that one. No. There we go. This one, nope. This one we need to give the shields to Farin. One-handed bludgeon. No. There we go. Let's see. Any other one? This one. That way I will combine both blunt and slashing damage. Let's see if we can improve this. First, we'll increase our dexterity, which in turn will increase our armor because of the skill tree, as we've been exploring last time and today. This is exactly why the game this is why exactly I've been telling you that the game blurs the line between classes, that it doesn't have defined classes, because with this talent, this is a talent that, for example, is also present in Knights of the Old Republic. It makes your DPS a tank, because it converts your damage, your dexterity. It indirectly converts it to armor, and the same happened with the mage. It's just that it doesn't. I didn't invest any points on strength. That's why her attacks were shitty. Each killing blow grants a temporary strength boost, reduces the cooldown. Hmm. When willing to handed swords, I could purchase this one for versatility, because I could use both two-handed swords and dual wielding at the same time. No, but I want to have perfect dual wielding. So we'll do this, and the rest will go here. For now, we won't do any ranged attacks. But yeah, pretty much we'll leave it like this. Yeah, quick changes. All right, and now let me change those swords. That may be the reason why we were not dealing a lot of damage. Right, this one, and here this one, we also need to change it. Where's that mace that we got? This one, the Warhammer. 76, 126. Perfect. We'll have blunt and slashing damage. 74, 94, 76, 126. Durability, yeah, my gear is almost broken, so we need to repair it. Let's just repair it and come back. Good. Good. Let me repair it for a sec. And go back to action. I fear we might have missed the side quest.
How can I assist you?
Any repairs quickly? Let's see. There we go. In terms of the inventory and the system it uses, you can engrave items. As you can see, as I mentioned last time, that orange dot down there is pretty much an engraved item. The bow, for example, is also engraved. You can engrave those runes. Here, this one. The menus are a bit slow. If I had to highlight a flaw in terms of the inventory system and overall the user interface, because you have to kind of like confirm entering each category. You have to confirm entering each category. Hey, we've already seen this. We've already seen this. What's this? Skip. And here, will they spawn again? Damn it, they spawned again. Well, this is the second time that the saving system fails. Kind of like forcing you to repeat at least a small section. It happened to me at the beginning of this stream, but I assumed that this is a flaw. Alright, I'll try to finish. Next time I'll try to finish the whole section before I repair my items. Sorry for that. So yeah, pretty much. There we go. Magnificent. Oops. Damn it. Oh. Alright, I'm beginning to see the... Where are the other two? Ah, yeah, right, it's one of those. It's one of those that you cannot... Alright. Let's try to stick together a bit. Damn it, he stole my kill. Doesn't matter. There we go. Perfect. Alright, it wasn't that bad. I'm beginning to see the flow of combat and the overall here we'll sell this large nugget, gold nugget, blah. The nuggets are kind of like you get them when you play as farm. I'm beginning to see the flow of combat here. The main idea behind this is that enemies will, the way they are trying to compensate the usage of potions. Where do I proceed? Hey, it's not through here. Ah, it's through there. It's through there. I'm beginning to see the idea behind this, behind the flow of combat, the balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty. Damn it. Well, it's no longer barred. Hey, it throws a... Hey, this one is different. Yeah, it's that enemies will knock you back. That's pretty much the idea. That's pretty much the idea, that enemies will knock you back. That's how they are trying to compensate the usage of... the unlimited usage of potions. The fact that enemies can knock you back. It's not a bad idea. We'll see how it... It's still way too early to tell. But today I've seen a positive aspect. Because I got killed for the first time, and... I could finally see how the game compensates the fact that you can continuously spam potions. There we go. This one wasn't as resistant as the armored orcs, if I had to say. So yeah, pretty much. So today I've seen something positive, if you ask me. Which is that they tried to at least somehow compensate the unlimited use of potions with that knockback effect. Damn it, I didn't see that one coming. Come on, we need to perform the execution. Damn it. Good. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, ironically, the orcs that we were fighting previously were much more accurate, if you ask me. They were much more accurate. And they were faster, so they were a bit more difficult to evade. Alright. The other thing is that we can confirm by now that the overall influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics is really well done. As you can see here, we have no room, and that influences the gameplay mechanics. But yeah, for the most part, I would say that the difficulty of this game derives more from the timing rather than the level design. Though here we can see the influence. This is something that I've analyzed several times. Back when we played Avencast Rise of the Mage, highly recommended game. A highly recommended game. How the level design.
Trolls are a danger to all. It appears they have been feeding upon the orcs. We are getting near to the mountain itself. If there's an entrance here, it'll be nearby.
See, there you can see it. What I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream. See how she's dual wielding, and compare that when I was playing as the mage, you could see that I didn't get the dual wielding talent. That's how the game balances the overall difficulty. I know they sound like stupid, subtle details, but they're important because it's how the developers decided to balance the difficulty, and there you can see their mastery. Here, can I loot this? No. And there you can see their mastery in terms of properly balancing a game. In the case of Snowblind Studios, they had experience. Consider that they developed this after Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance 1 and Dark Alliance 2. And yes, I am... Look at the effect on the robes. Consider this game is from 2011. If we consider that, this effect is so realistic and advanced. In terms of the graphical presentation, you can even see the snow in the eyebrows and also in the interior of the hood there. It's amazing. It's amazing. And if you roll here, you can see, you must have noticed that the clothes get dirty. This effect, I've only seen it in the PC version, something similar, not the same. A similar effect in the PC version of X-Men Origins Wolverine, another forgotten hack and slash game from the 7th generation, amazing game, developed by Raven Software, the creators of a forgotten FPS that it was an insurgency or something like that. I showcased it.
Another orc warband.
What are they doing? Studying the ground? There must be something wrong. Look, there's a door.
Raven Studios, that developed X-Men Origins Wolverine, besides contributing to a lot of Call of Duty games under the banner of Activision, under the seal of Activision, they developed one game that I wanted to showcase as well. It's an FPS game developed by Activision. I think I showcased it in the integral history of PC game genres. I mean, I only mentioned it. Alright, here we can see that the detection range of the artificial intelligence is pretty good. And this is interesting. And well, Raven Software developed X-Men Origins Wolverine, and in that game, the blood in Logan's body is also extremely realistic because it's kind of like the clothes get ripped off, but not only that, the blood is kind of like extremely realistic. This game also does have extremely realistic blood because it has the same style as in the movies, in case you haven't noticed. There we go, and ready. Yeah, once you get the difficulty, the way they decided to balance the difficulty has to do more with the timing rather than the level design. Kind of like, when I say the level design, remember when I analyzed Avencast Rise of the Mage, I mean that, for example, the influence of having narrow corridors affects the gameplay mechanics. If you have no room to dodge, if you have no room to, in the case of Havencast, to cast your spells, because in that game you can watch the series. Uh, you have no room to cast the spells because spells would require some time, and if you have no room because enemies are on top of you, it's simply more difficult to cast the spells. And in that regard, I'm extremely happy because the one of the level designers of Havencast Rise of the Mage, there you can see the comment, he thanked me when I precisely analyzed the game, and I mentioned how important it was that the level design, how the level design influences the gameplay mechanics of the game.
The tracks are hard to read, but it appears the fighting carried on into the mountain.
So yeah, it's important. In this game, the corridors are not so narrow. There are some sections, but in general, it's kind of like fighting in the open field. So the difficulty doesn't lie in the influence of the level design over the gameplay mechanics. It has to do with the timing, something similar to what happens with cinematic, with Batman Arkham Asylum. Hey,
Someone can see it before us.
look at this.
There was a fight here very recently.
The bodies. They're dwarves.
This one lives still.
Well then, come on, you scum. Finish it. You're not orcs.
No, we're not. We'll help you.
Andre, help him. Use your arts.
No. Save it. The arrows, poison. No hope. But you can help. Help my friends.
Why are you
Why
here?
are you here? What were you attempting?
We seek a weapon. We must find it, use it, stop the orcs.
What is this weapon? Where can we find it?
Dwarf weapon. In stone. Nordry has the key. Find them. Help them. Please. Save Nordenbach.
I love how I'm trying to explore all the dialogue options because we're doing a 100% completion of the game while he's dying. It feels bad, but let's see. Agandaur. I want to explore this one as well.
We are looking for a man called Agendour. Is he here?
No. He... Nordenbach.
He will speak no more. He is dead.
But it sounds like there may be more like him around here somewhere.
Yes. They're searching for some sort of weapon. Come, we must try to find them.
The ironies of trying to do a 100% completion of it.
To leave fallen dwarves to these accursed orcs, but we have no choice.
Alright. Well, I think you can see in Farin's armor that the artificial intelligence automatically equips new weapons that they pick up. Another great sign. Wait. No, this is the entrance. Let me see if I can loot something. I need to be well equipped. So yeah, as I was mentioning, so far, the biggest flaw that we've encountered is the lack of balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty of the game. If you combine that with the fact that you cannot choose hard difficulty right away, that combination is a pretty terrible flaw because you can simply spam potions and beat the game. That's the problem. Oh. The other topic that we haven't yet talked about is the enemy variety. But yeah, as I've said, as a conclusion of that part of the preliminary analysis, uh, today I was happy to see that the game somehow has a way, a weapon that the developers devised a way. Pretty good textures for that water for the 7th generation. You can see that we are no longer covered in snow. Good. I'm glad to see and I'm happy to see that the developers found a way to somehow compensate found a way to somehow compensate this and this lack of balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty, which is allowing some of the orcs that we just encountered um, knock you back. That's the way the game is trying, that the developers of the game are trying to balance. I know it's something subtle that most reviewers probably wouldn't pay attention to, but that's the idea of what I do here. Those subtle details usually end up playing a big role. Here, for example, you can see that specifically the orcs that we've stumbled upon today, the, this one with the shield and the other one with the hammer, these two enemy types are the ones, I know it's difficult to see, but they are the ones specifically responsible for trying to balance the unlimited usage of potions. The developers over at Snowblind specifically designed those two to I can clearly see it, to compensate the unlimited usage of potions. Because they are the only ones so far that have been able to give me trouble by knocking me down. It's the way they have to compensate, there you can see it, to compensate the fact that I can spam potions indefinitely. These two specific enemy types. This one with the hammer and the other one with the shield. Which leads me to the conclusion of today. Remember, this is a partial analysis, then we'll get to the final analysis, as we always do. Which is that the enemy variety, it's an interesting way. The enemy variety and the knockback mechanics of them are the ones responsible for trying, as I've said, this is preliminary, in the end we will reach an objective conclusion, according to the fact that if, at the end of the day, the game does represent a challenge or not, overall. But if it does, it will be because of the enemy variety and the knockback mechanic. So we will have a case, because they could have gone for something different. You know, as I've said, Hellgate London, for example, adds a cooldown to the usage of potions. Other games like yeah, for example, World of Warcraft also have a cooldown. You can, for example, be muted by enemies temporarily. That's a close example to this one. But here, instead of, for example, being muted and denying you the usage of potions temporarily by being muted, for example, I think in Dragon Age. No, in Dragon Age Origins, I don't think there are any that mute you. For example, precisely in Hellgate London, just to use a recent example, if you're electrified, if you suffer shock damage, you can be muted and you cannot spam potions. And just like that, just like you can be muted and you are prevented from, and you are denied the usage of potions, the most classic approach is adding a cooldown, like in Diablo 3, For example, Diablo 2. In Diablo 2, you don't have a cooldown on the potions, but in that case, it's simply... Ah, you have to destroy this. Okay. In that case, it's simply compensated by the... You can see this perfectly in the... If you use the median Excel mode of Diablo 2, highly recommended. Diablo 2. Once you get to Nightmare difficulty, to level 60 or so, the damage of the enemies will be so high that even if you can endlessly spam potions, the damage is so high that it won't matter, because you can still get killed. And in the case of this game, so far, today has been a pretty productive stream, because I've seen and I've been able to analyze the one mechanic responsible for compensating the flawed usage of potions. Or let's say the overall balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty of the game. In the case of this game, without a doubt, is the knockback effect of some enemy types. Not the trolls that we've seen so far, because they are way too slow, but the combination of the speed in the attacks of this enemy type, this hammer enemy type, and this shield, and this sword and shield orc enemy type, the combination of those enemy types with the knockback effect, the timing and the speed, is pretty much the formula responsible for compensating the initially unbalanced, let's say, usage of potions with the overall difficulty curve of the game. I got killed at least once until I got the timing of these two enemy types. So the game forced me to learn. That's the important thing. The game forced me to learn its mechanics in a natural and organic way. So great, just like in Dark Souls, for example, just like in Sekiro, just like in Shadow of Mordor, for example. I cannot perform the execution, damn it. Alright, you guys take care of it. So yeah, it's an important conclusion what we reached today. Because initially, so far, my preliminary reaction was to deduce that the usage of potions was simply unbalanced, just like in Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. But it's not the case for so far. It will depend. Remember, this is all preliminary. We'll get to the final analysis eventually. But as I've said, I wonder if it will leave that device there and attack us. Yeah, it did. Pretty well done. As you can see, since the trolls are slower, it's easier to evade them. So the troll attacks do not compensate that lack of balance that I was mentioning. Let me do the execution, please. The first execution, no. It took me way too much time. I took way too much time. Any other goblin? No. Alright. There's one more there. As you can see, if you are going up against a troll here, these trolls, they are a terrible example because they are slower, and you can see that lack of balance much more easily. So, what's the conclusion? That the lack of balance between the usage of potions and the overall difficulty of the game will depend on the enemy types in this case. Believe it or not. A pretty unique case, I must say. It will depend on the timing of the knockback of the enemies. As you can see. as I've said, some games,
What of this? These chains and gears.
most games, uh,
They forge weapons and
most games simply go for the
They're making more than that. Can't you smell it? The same blasting powder used against us at Warlock. There must be a huge store of it here. Then let us destroy the gears. Perhaps we will slow their war myths.
here. No, this one here. So yes, basically, while most games go for help the dwarves defeat the attacking orcs, and where do I proceed through?
what have we done?
I don't know. We might have what we might have done, but the thing sure is working. As I said, most games go for the classic solution of adding a cooldown to the usage of potions. Other games choose to add muting mechanics. Think about, for example, World of Warcraft. This is the solution of most MMORPGs. Giving enemies muting capabilities so they can temporarily prevent you from quaffing a potion, from using a potion.
There are vermin on the cogs.
But this game, but this game apparently is choosing, as I've said, everything is preliminary. Hey, nice lava effect over there. Though I can see, I think you can see it. It's a bit, it's a bit evident the difference between that lava, kind of like the one slowly falling, and the one that is kind of like falling over there. How about I attack them instead of talking? Since they are killing me, since they are trying to kill me, how about I actually attack them? Thanks, Andriel, that will prevent the arrows from attacking us. Let's see if we can do a headshot from here. Nope. A bit imprecise. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could... Wait a second. This is the perfect moment to try the... What was it? LT and RB. Let's try that... That charged attack. See? Wow. It worked. But it has a cooldown, as you can see there. Right, so the charged arrow has a cooldown. It's not that bad, but it has a cooldown. Let's try it again. Bullseye, the head exploded. I don't know if you could see it, it was way too fast, but I'm pretty sure that the head exploded. Pretty well done. So yeah, as I was mentioning, today we uncovered a subtle yet... Hey, this is collapsing. A subtle yet important gameplay mechanic. Because I initially thought that the usage of potions would be unbalanced, but there's hope that the developers actually found a way to compensate that flawed mechanic. So yes, pretty much. It's an interesting way, as I've said. Classic solution. I don't want to repeat myself, but just in case. Adding a cooldown to the health potion, or allowing enemies to mute you. In the case of this game, it will depend on enemy variety and enemies that are able to knock you back. Alright, you can engage them in melee eventually. I could have engaged them in melee. Alright, let's see what else we have here. In terms of the enemy variety, so far, let's see, because I think we haven't paid attention to that. We've had goblins, armored trolls, shaman trolls, normal trolls. It's through there, so that means there has to be a secret over here. We've faced normal orcs, ranged orcs, and today we stumbled upon those two important enemy types that I'm going to highlight next time as well when we start the next stream. The sword and shield The sword and shield. It's just a secret. Here. Damn it. Cave Master stuff. That's a green. Let me make some room. That would be here. I see the problem. Let's see, what can we drop? What can we drop? We can drop this. Give to Farin. We won't drop them. We'll give them to Farin. In fact. What? Because of this. Here. No, not equip. Give to Farin. Damn it. Yeah. Well, whatever. We made some room. Then we can manage the inventory next time. See why I always end up starting streams by managing my inventory? Because I leave everything for the next for the beginning of the next stream. All right. Well, anyways, here we can sell stuff. All right. We can sell some things here. I think here we have the perfect explanation of what we have to sell. Requires a stamina. That's why I have been unable to upgrade my gear. 21 stamina, it's not that much. Let me sell this. And the other ones are... I can't sell them. I mean... they may be what we are looking for. Wait a second. I want to test something. Because I'm not selling them. I'm not selling them because we have that side quest that we need to find the precious stones for this guy, for glowing. Let's see.
Oh, hello again. Don't mind me. Speaking with you got me dreaming of the old days. Dwarves, elves, and men fighting against orcs and goblins. Those were glorious times.
I don't have the option. Wait, we'll leave this for next time.
Goodbye for now.
Where are the side quests? Here. Elf stones. Green barrel, golden... no, there, no. Forget it. They have specific names. I can sell the rest of the precious stones. Let me get back to that. There we go. Let's go over there. Let's go back. I can sell that stuff. Perfect. It records my progress here. Sell. I don't know what I'm gonna do with so much money, but well. And these ones, no, because these ones are for slots. Let's say that. So yeah, so far we've encountered goblins, trolls of any kind, orcs. I wonder if we will eventually stumble upon Urukhais. What the? Speaking of having unlimited potions, I think I need to purchase some. I only have 7. Let's see if I can buy potions here. Yeah, I can. Only 3 though. Only 3, but if I kind of like do this, do they restock? No, but if I kind of like quit and re-enter, we verified some streams ago that you can endlessly purchase potions. So yeah. Pretty much, the game tries to hide that flaw. That's good. But it couldn't hide it from us, people, because during the second or the third stream, I think I quit and went back several times, and I think we could verify that I could endlessly purchase potions, so yeah. That was the fact that I was most... Can I deal damage to them like this? Hey, the arrow is also more accurate. Alright. Nice. Back at the goblins. I love how the game... if there's one thing this game got right, is properly distributing the appearances of the enemy types. Kind of like... It perfectly cycles between goblins, orcs and trolls. Here it comes. I think they endlessly spawn anyway. What the? Is it me or that was 1277 damage? That's a lot. Perfect. Alright. So, where are my companions? Are they attacking this thing? What are they doing? Here we can see. Alright. We have just seen a flaw in the detection range of the artificial intelligence. Where's Andriel? Where is she? Andriel? Where are you? Well, there we could see a clear flaw in the detection range of the AI controlled. There she is. No. It's a pathfinding issue. She didn't fall here. She didn't fall through there. We can see one last minute flaw in the detection range of the artificial intelligence. And Farin is not precisely attacking him. Here we can see another perfect example of the level design influencing the gameplay mechanics. The troll is detecting Farin. Here you can see another perfect example of the influence of the level design. Here you can see that we have no... Hey! That thing is trying to go for Andriel, but... oh well, won't be able to reach her. Another thing that we need to explore next time is the fact that the game doesn't use a targeting system, which I think in this case is positive. It doesn't use the classic set targeting system of Ocarina of Time. And we will get into the rant of Dark Souls once again, probably. Alright, it's exploding. Ooh. It exploded. I think we broke the wrong gear back there. So yeah, pretty much. And here we have these guys. Perfect. Damn it, my gear is broken. And I didn't get killed. Alright, we'll do this. We'll leave it here today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave it here today. We'll leave it here for today. We'll leave it here. Anyways, I could see that it just saved back there. So yes, it won't happen. I think it won't happen what happened at the beginning of this stream. So yes, we'll leave it here today. As for London 2038, we'll get back to it once I already respec. Fortunately, I've been able to respec, and I improved my skill tree. I'm working on my gear. I already have a decent single target automatic rifle, and we will get to explore Dawn of the Dead soon enough, I believe. I just want to be sure that this time we have enough damage to pierce through most of the defenses, at least the initial horde of zombies. So yes, I am finishing all of the improvements that I said that I would do to my gear, and yes, indeed. Once I improve my gear more and I get to achieve an even higher degree of damage, um, we'll do Dawn of the Dead. And after Dawn of the Dead, as I showcased last time with the different versions of Hellgate London, we will do Hellgate Tokyo eventually. Not now, because I have a lot of games to showcase, to analyze, to basically explore with all of you. We have the twin stick shooter boss rush series, the reverse engineered series, which is something that I need to do with the MOBAs, with the FPS, with the arena FPS games, with things like Orcs Must Die Unchained, like Need for Speed World Offline, in this case, instead of online, with Age of Empires Online, all of the reverse engineered games that I've explored throughout the years. But well, after all of that, maybe in the summer of where I live, not your summer, because I know that in most of the world right now is the summer and here is the winter. That's why it was a stormy day. Um, we will get to explore Hellgate Tokyo because I could finally